If you are a young guy and you are struggling to survive, you are struggling to grow, you are doing everything possible, you are working very hard and you are not seeing results, then this video is for you. This is why you must have heard of this word Ghe Ghe University of Wisdom and Understanding. This is why you need to attend that university. Trust me, it will really be of help to you. Because if you think what I'm going to be saying in this video will not make any sense, let me ask you a very simple question. What do you think make Ghe Ghe to make an amount of about $35,000 on one night, one of those days when he went live? Have you ever sat down to ask yourself? I've not really been a fan of Ghe Ghe, but I've took time to ask myself that question, and this is what I later found out. I had to go further to dig deep into that guy's content. This is a reality that nobody will tell you. You see, most of the people who watch that video, it is believed that they are broke people who don't have money. But trust me, most of them were not broke people. This is why I have to prove it. When I went further, I realized that some of them gifted him lions. Yes, they gifted him lions. And when I went further to find out the price of an average lion on TikTok gift, I later realized that it's a $500 worth of gift. Just one lion. And more than 5 people gave him that lion. So that means there are a lot of rich people who connect with a story, which you are supposed to learn from. If somebody can gift another person that you don't know $500 as a gift, I'm yet to see people who really enjoy that kind of gift, no matter how smart they do on the internet space. Because the only people I've seen that before is one of the top world American producer, which I've watched his live, where I see that. And after that, the next person is Ghe Ghe that I'm seeing now. So that means there are a lot of rich people that watch that guy video and they can relate with it. Which means if you watch those videos, you also learn something from it that will really be of help to you. So this is one thing that I later got to realize about it. You see, he has a storyline. He's giving a storyline of what it takes to build wealth. And in one of the videos, I later realized that there are some things that you have as a human being that God gave you naturally. That if you know how to use them very well, trust me, you will start making money from it. I'm not joking. This is the reality. So that means for you, there are a lot of young people that discover this thing. Some of them discover themselves. They started making money from it. But this is where their problem is. There was no focus. Yes, there was no clear focus on how to go further. Because you see, when you start making money from it, you need to invest that money to make more money. And because they are surrounded by people who don't really see things that way, when they start making that money, everybody is trying to feed off from that money. The mother in the village, younger ones, this one there, girlfriend this, wife this, in-laws this, everybody is expecting from you. And at the end of the day, you start spending that money trying to solve all those people problem, and trust me, you know how money works. Once you spend it, when it is gone forever. It never comes back. It doesn't care if you have another opportunity to get it or not again. So this is how the circle of wealth is created. When you start making money for the first time, you need to understand that you need to invest in knowledge. Yes, that is the most powerful tool that will keep you even when the storm are going bad. Because without knowledge, you will not know where to put the money and how to put the money and how to make that money multiply. And this is where most people, especially those who even are civil servants, are stuck. Because money has a way of putting you in a cage. And once it places you in that cage, if you become very comfortable, trust me, you will not grow beyond that level. Because if you know better, trust me, as a human being, you become better. And this is where you see the poorest set of people in most Africans are professors, because they don't know better. They only know what is existing within their nose, that is in the book. So that means if they know better, their life will become better, and they will not be going on strike. That is it. Because money is not designed to just come and go like that. Money is designed to go to people who have real solution to real life problem. It's not for people who go and sit down and they talk. This is why you now see that most people, when they come to try to make money online, they don't succeed, because they come with the mindset of making money, and they don't really understand the core concept of money. Because money is a reward for solving people's problem. So that means if you are getting rewarded for solving people's problem, this is the problem and this is the reward you are getting. It means for you to become better in solving that problem, you need to invest more money into learning the process of solving that problem. That is how you outsmart the larger population of people doing the same thing you are doing. That is how most billionaires, millionaires comes into reality. Because if you are doing it the same way everybody is doing it, you end up in the same way. Everybody is doing it. And you cannot grow beyond what you don't know. So you are a product of your decisions, your actions, your inactions, and the rest of them. So why he tried to lay so much emphasis on how you treat women is the reality that you need to understand. You see, as men, we are very, very conscious. Even though we are trying to be very conscious, but if you are not very careful, people will always want to play over you using their emotions. Because people you like, they always try to take advantage of your likeness that you like for them for emotions. They use their emotion to manipulate you. And once they manipulate you to make you always see them like their situation is always bad, that you always need to come to their help, trust me, you'll be going down with them. Before you actually realize what is happening, you will now see that you are back to the same level with them. Then at the end of the day, nobody will be having the opportunity to help anyone again. All the three of you are stuck. So that is why you see most people who become very stuck in this life, their journey started is something that looks like play. They were not conscious of it at first, but as time goes on, the real stuff begin to manifest. Now, so this is the reality to prove to you that what I'm saying is the reality of what I'm saying. So when I went through the comment section, I later saw that some ladies were not comfortable with some of these teachings. This is one secret that you need to understand about people generally. You see, when you are dealing with people, especially somebody that is very close to you, there is one common common mindset that most people have. They always believe that you are the alpha and the omega when you are doing well, so you are supposed to move or change their financial situation. And in trying to change their financial situation, if you are not careful, you become stuck because you see, it's a determination. If that person cannot help himself, that means you keeping that person, you are also endangering yourself. Because you see, it takes a lot of work to accommodate another person and train that person. This is why even the top men at the top level, when you are going to meet them for consultation, they charge you money because they know that it costs a lot. Before you even talk of keeping another human being and trying to breed that person to come up. So, and a lot of ladies who react to this were not reacting to it because Ghe Ghe was wrong. We are not reacting to it because when he said he shouldn't give people money, that he was wrong. They are reacting to it because they got to understand that as a man, for you to grow, you need to learn how to manage money when you are still growing. And when you stop spending on unnecessary stuff, your brain will begin to work. You are going to be seeing things above normal. And you are going to be taking drastic commitment into facing those things and building yourself. By the time you start facing those things and you start investing in knowledge, you are going to become a much more better version of you. And by the time you become a much more better version of you, trust me, that lady that you are keeping aside, that you are feeling like you cannot do without, trust me, you'll begin to see that she's just a liability who is just taking out a larger chunk of you that is not bringing return in investment. And trust me, after a while, that relationship would crumble. That is, if she doesn't sit up to also face her own reality. So this is why most of them are being skeptical, because they understand that by the time you grow and you become this better, you are going to be targeting people that are now in your new level. It's not about just the female folk, even men in general. That is why you see some people, when you're interacting with them, I've seen people severally that when they are interacting with some people, after a while they will say he has changed, he's not picking our call again. Yes, the person did not only change. The person did not only change. Did not really change. What the person does is he just shifts his area of focus. He later discovered that these are the type of people I'm supposed to keep. These are the crop of people I'm supposed to focus more on. Because you see, your network will affect you. When you keep people who complain a lot, who always looking forward to who to go and beg, you are going to end up like them. Trust me. But if you stay around people who are very, very committed, who don't have time to argue, who don't have time to waste unnecessary time on irrelevant things, you will not see that things will begin to work out in your life. So that is the reality of these things. And in building yourself toward that level, this level of commitment must start right from when you are young. Most of the rich people today that some ladies will try to compare a young growing guy with, they forgot that this man, there was a time in his life that he has nothing. And trust me, it's his commitment that took him to that same level that they are seeing today. Now, so if they admire somebody like that, then why are they skeptical of a young guy who is having the same level of commitment now to become better in the next 5, 10 years to come? Why are they skeptical? It means they realize that they don't have anything to offer. That is how unfortunate it has been. Because people who have something tangible to offer in your life will never be skeptical of how your growth process. Trust me. They will never be skeptical because they understand that when you are moving, they will be catching up. But a person who is stagnant will always be skeptical of your growth because he's going to think that the moment you become successful, you are going to leave them. So every move you are making, they will be stalking you. They are going to be stalking every bit of your movement because they don't want to be taken unaware. They want to know what is working in your life, what is not working. That they will be bringing all sorts of excuses, all sorts of complaints, all sorts of demands to distract you. And as a human being, if the little amount you are making, you don't see possibility of expanding it, then you have a higher chances of becoming a failure in this life. Because the money that will change your life is not the biggest amount of money that will. It's only so little money that you are seeing that you are ignoring that will be the stepping stone. I recently came across the story of a guy who narrated how his marriage nearly crumbled. But guess what? It was a drastic decision that he had to take that later changed his situation. If he had remained in that particular situation of trying to please people around him, he would have remained caged. So that is the reality. I believe you learned something in this particular video. So this is in summary, this is what you need to understand. You need to have these three basic crop of knowledge. You need to have this first one, which is the formal education. The formal education is all about exposing you to principles of processes of doing things, principles and processes of doing things. Then you need to be exposed to the next level of knowledge. We have this one, formal knowledge. Then you have the second one, which is the informal class of knowledge. This informal class of knowledge will expose you to self-development. That means you need to understand who you are. You are the one to study yourself, how your level of discipline and things that are working out in your life, your talent and the rest of them. Then the next class of knowledge that you need to be aware of is the vocational knowledge. This is where we talk about skill acquisition. A lot of people want to get this without going for this. When you get this without going for this, you have a higher chance of even becoming a failure. But if you can balance these three, you have a higher chance of becoming successful in this life. Because on this vocational side of skill thing, this is where you move from just knowing about certain things into building what you call an authority. Yes, you are going to be a specialist. Becoming a specialist, becoming an authority is where the real money is. Because people want to pay people who know how to do certain things very well, not just a random person you see out there. So that means you need to transform that your talent into this, which is a skill. You learn other skill to add it to it. Sometimes you can be very talented in music, but you need other skill to add it to it. What are these skills that you need? You need to understand music production, music distribution, the business side of music. By the time you understand the business side of music, then you now build your brand, which is the authority that you're talking about here. That is how you become successful. Because trust me, if you remain and moving from this level to this level will require money. And if you stay in a cage where everybody is expecting money from you while you are struggling at this level, you have a high chance of remaining very poor for the rest of your life. That means you must break out of that cage. And that is going to cost you some things. So the decision is left whether you want to really face it or you have to dance to their tune and remain at that level. So I believe you learned something in this particular video. And this is some of the things I later realized Gege was talking in his video. He was talking about some natural things that God gave you, but because you are not paying attention, you are looking at somewhere else. You are hoping that one day one big money will come. A lot of people will go and be sleeping in betting shop, hoping that one day they will hit 10 million naira, they will hit 100 million, they will hit whatever, man. It doesn't work, and it has proven not to work, and it will never work. You can only get money that will come and it will go, and it will look like you never seen anything in your life. But if you can build a system like what I said, from your talent to an authority, from your talent to skill, and then moving that skill to authority, trust me, people will look for you to give you money irrespective of the part of the world you are. You'll be having international brand endorsement all over the world. So see you once again in my next video.